Alright, hey guys, it's me, Brett. I thought I would do this game review today. This is one I played a couple days ago, and I actually had um, a fellow member of the Younguseng Dojang online. He's a one-dan Yakami, so you'll see his comments here. Review this game with me and point out a few things. It was a really close game the whole way through. I end up winning by time, but I would have won by points anyway. We get into a co-fight where we're both in Biyoyomi at the end of the game, and my opponent made a co-threat that wasn't really a threat, so it let me win the co, and by winning the co, win the game. But up until that point, it was a really close game, so I thought I would share it with you guys. So here we go. We get into an orthodox opening with, he's got this 4-3 point instead of the just 2-4-4 points, so I don't think that makes too huge of a difference. And he splits, and we played this out. So I was expecting this one, but that's not the variation we played out. I haven't got anyone to play that out since I learned it, so maybe it's just not that popular. But he played here, so I protected the corner. And Yakami suggested this one instead, but he said it was a small thing. So then white takes his corner. I take this big point on the bottom and make this kind of like almost double wing formation. He comes underneath and I approach this side. He pincers, in we go and just play out a Joseki. I've seen this move now a couple times. People have played it against me instead of this. I don't know what all the differences are. I would play this. I don't know if the other one's like a mistake or something. This is just a different way of trying to fix this cut, but it seems a little odd to me. And then he played this. So here I thought for a while, because I wasn't sure what to do. I was thinking about taking the top, because it's the last big area. You can see Yakami kind of thinks that's a good idea. Or to just play this shoulder hit. I don't play either. I end up playing here. But let's look at some of the other possible variations. This is what could have happened. I take the top. One option would be for white to take this, point here, and then go in and reduce his side then. And the other option would be that white decided you want to take this side, and then I get to come closer on the top. And I guess this seems like a fair result. And this is apparently more the situation when you want to play this kind of move. And I guess the technique is after white picks whatever side he's going to defend, black can try and make some shape on to break this top side. But I played this move here, and he thinks it's not good because this is the move you play only when white has the extension on the top and the left in this case. So for white, it would be a really good move down here, I think. But he doesn't play that. So here's what happens in the game. He plays this. And, man, I looked at these moves at A and B for a while, and I couldn't figure out during the game how to make them work. But apparently it's pretty simple. I think Yakami shows them later, but it's something like, like this. Is pretty annoying for, I think, white to deal with. But I couldn't find that during the game. So what I kept reading, why I couldn't make it work, is because these two, I kept playing at D15 instead of this clamp here. So that was sort of a blind spot in my reading, but this is like a really, I think, neat technique for when there's these two knight moves and you're breaking, this shape. So that was a missed opportunity for me. And again, he suggested this attaches is probably better. I wonder if maybe even this is better. Right. That looks okay. All right, but let's keep on going through the game. White splits here, and now, yeah, I have this weak group to deal with, and as Yakami points out, it's like, if we just look at this, it's like black put a large knight move right next to white's enclosure, and that doesn't make any sense. So this is maybe where the game started to get tough for me. Oh yeah, and here's the variation, like as Yakami pointed it out. This one instead. So now white tries to seal in this corner, and I try and help this group and hopefully reduce this left side a little bit. Right, so I play this, and he was pretty confused, and I had a plan for this move, which was to get this jump, and I guess have a little bit of help, because this jump is a ladder breaker for this cutting this knight's move here. But he pointed out, you know, I can skip. I don't need this exchange in order to do that. I can just play directly there, and it saves some of the forcing moves from this stone later on. So that was a pretty slight mistake to just waste this, like make this exchange for no real reason. So he recognized that that was what I was aiming at. He protected it. And then I got sort of these free moves out here on the outside, and I thought he'd come back and protect, and he does. And now because I've got this little bit of influence, like these outside moves here, I go to reduce the left some more. And maybe it's starting to build something here. And yeah, apparently it seems all right. He just likes this jump, just running away. I can see it. I think I had spent a lot of time, and I wanted to play kind of a little bit faster. So I just tried to play some moves that would keep Sente. But I guess jumping is just fine for me in that situation. I kind of like this though. It's tough. And this group, right, there's still this cut, and we'll see. I try to use it later in the game. Yeah, so here we go. Again, he thinks just jumping is better, and now that, like with the stone at K12, you can just see this bottom right side is getting huge, so it makes a lot of sense. A missed opportunity for me, I think. What else is interesting in this game? Yeah, so he does this invasion. It's probably way too much, and then I make really a silly mistake and play this move, and he ends up living in the corner. I don't know. This is one of those moves I see in the review, and I go, what was I thinking? Because, you know, there's nothing for white in the corner if I play that move. And the cut isn't scary either because it just is a ladder, right? That's good for me. So probably pretty silly. I don't really have any defense of that move. It was just a kind of a mistake, in-game mistake. And I wanted to try and kill this, but I think that it's just not working. Or maybe I can make it like Ko, right? Make the Ko here, but I didn't go for it. I just protected the cut, and that was a pretty significant loss to lose, you know, what really should have been a sure 12, 15, 20 points for me. But oh well. And then so this is trying to make these points on the right. I think that's small. So now we go for this clamp, right? He can't cut them. Um, so that's not working. So we get this. He just leaves it. He plays a forcing move there. And then he tries to connect these, and this actually isn't connected yet after I seal this. But he ignores it. But there's a cut there still that we'll see later in the game. And now he plays this, and I ignore it because I have big dreams. So I play on this side, which looks like it's just trying to make these points around R12. And actually, this is an overplay because of what I have in mind. I should have just blocked here. But so he pushes through, he follows through there, and then I go for this cut with the big dream of killing this bottom left group of his. And it seems like it's living, even though we placed, Yakami played through some other possible variations for him, and they seem like they're all making an eye. So this is definitely not the right idea to try and kill this group, but I end up making some profit because he plays this outside move, and I get to kill these 2 stones. So it ends up working out all right for me, but this damage here, I think, is bigger. And then, yeah, he takes this, and so I'm getting pretty low on time here. My opponent's starting to get low, and well, we'll see some of the mistakes that happen. I go in for the corner here. He plays better than I did. Again, like this whole time, this sort of thing was still possible. So that's unfortunate to have missed. That would have been a really big swing. But I couldn't read it. I just had a blind spot for that the whole time. So I try something. I end up, this is a bad move. This is just, again, I'm in Byo-Yomi, so I'm just trying to play a forcing move. I end up at least getting some forcing moves on the outside, and I come back and make a few points here. So we're into the end game, pretty much, and here comes a big mistake for me. That was me grabbing that stone there. That was the cut. So you can see he has to connect, and then this is, he can't connect because it's self-Atari. And yep, here comes this cut right here. And this all stems, it even gets back to having played this really bad stone instead of something good. So then he pushes through and cuts. And now I have to make this middle group live, which isn't actually that hard. Excuse me, my nose is itching. So I ignore this. Maybe that was dangerous if he plays something like this. I'm not sure. I guess he's killing this stone. So that would be frustrating, but I felt like I had to save this group in the middle. So take that forcing move. Take this forcing move. I take that forcing move. And then make this shape, which is a living shape. And now the whole goal is just to keep this connected. But I also felt like letting all these points go, I was pretty far behind. I'll look at the score estimator. Yeah, it's got me behind by just a little bit. And so he tries to cut those stones off. And I defend up there, and then I go to make this ko to cut these off, which will win the game for me. But I think losing these will lose the game for me. But it was pretty much necessary. Let me just put a white stone in here and look at the score estimator again. Yeah, so it's got white by 12.5. I think that's about right. And so now we're both in Byo-Yomi, but he's on his last one. So it's pretty rough for him, he of course tries to connect, and I make the ko, and he takes first. But I have a pretty big ko threat in the bottom right corner to kill all of these in exchange for those 5 stones. So I don't think he really had a choice but to save it, and I take back the ko. And here, unfortunately, he makes a mistake. He does have a really good ko threat, obviously right there. I can't fill the ko because then it's self-Atari, so I would have to connect and he could take. And I would have to be finding another ko threat, which I guess, what would I have? What would be my next ko threat? I don't know if I have one that's big enough at this point. Really. I guess trying to threaten this group, right? Yeah, something like that. That'd be pretty big too. I don't know what let's see what the score estimator would say. White by 9.5. Oh, it's got the wrong stones dead though. Let's play that out just so. I'm too lazy to actually count, guys. So that would be enough for me to win the game too, I suppose. So he might have to answer that ko threat. But unfortunately, he plays this, which, of course, if I don't answer it, he can turn this into only one eye, but I've got more liberties, so I just fill. He plays the Ataris out, but he can't win this race, unfortunately. Yeah, and that would be the game for sure. So I thought that was a really interesting game. It's funny looking back. I was really proud of like this combination, but it was just a move. This move wasn't doing anything, and this really missing this A-B idea on combination on the top left is pretty disappointing. It's just like you have the fixed idea in your head of like, oh, attach and then cut. Those are the only moves that are possible, but no, this clamp is possible too. So hopefully I'll be able to recognize that in later games. And then going for the idea of, man, where's this move? Of killing this group is not the right idea. Just securing the territory in the middle would have been better. Although snagging these 2 stones was nice, but not at the cost of what happened out here. But anyway, guys, I am going to leave the review there. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll try and get another game commentary up. I didn't really have the energy to play all that many games today, but we'll have another one up soon. So thanks for watching. Hope you took something small and useful from this review. I know that it was really profitable for me because of Yakami just pointing out this error for sure, and this clamp was really great. So I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.